Gratitude. Grateful people are happy people. I don't know if I can say that enough. Grateful people are happy people. If you're always looking at how much you have instead of what you don't have. I saw, when I was young, Anne Margaret was the most beautiful woman I thought in the world. And I saw her one night on Johnny Carson, and he was talking about how beautiful she was. And she started telling him everything that was wrong with her. She started telling him what all her faults were. And I thought, gee, there's a bunch of unhappy women in this world. If Anne Margaret can find all those faults with herself, what about all these others? You know, we're never grateful for what we do have. Listen to this. You're so blessed. If you woke this morning with more health than illness, you're more blessed than the millions who won't survive this week. If you have money in your bank, in your wallet, and spare change in a ditch somewhere, you're among the top 8% wealthy people in the world. If you've never experienced the danger of battle, the loneliness of imprisonment, the agony of torture, or the pains of starvation, you're ahead of 20 million people in the world. If you attend a church meeting without fear of harassment, arrest, torture, or death, you're more blessed than 3 billion people in the world. If you got food in your refrigerator, clothes on your back, a roof over your head, and a place to sleep, you're richer than 75% of the world. If you can read this message, you are more blessed than over 2 billion people in the world who cannot read anything. You're so blessed in so many ways that you never know. Sit down and write down how many things that you have to be grateful for. When I was working with Mr. Ziegler, there was a lady in Atlanta, Georgia, and she just had to talk to Mr. Ziegler. She was talking about how miserable she was and her life was a complete waste. And Zig said, well, I've only got about 5 minutes before I go home. Can you tell me in about 5 minutes? And she said, well, the people at my job are the most worthless people in the world. It's just the worst job you can ever have, and I just don't know if I can continue. And he said, okay, I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's write down 5 things that are good about your job. She said, well, that's impossible. There aren't any 5 things. He said, okay, do they pay you? She said, yeah, I get a good salary. He said, okay, write that down. He said, do you have health benefits? Yes, we have the best health plan you can ever imagine. He said, write that down. So it didn't take him 5 minutes for her to write down 5 things that she was grateful for. And so we left, and he spoke in Atlanta, and I was with him, and we came back. And a couple of months later, he said, Dennis, come here, I want you to read this letter. And it's from the lady in Atlanta. And she's talking about, you cannot imagine how much these people at my work have changed. They are just completely different. You really think they changed? No. She put those 5 things up on her mirror every day, and she got up and read those 5 things. And then when she went to work, they were embedded in her mind. She changed. And because she changed, so did everybody else. If you want the people around you to change, be grateful. Be grateful for what you have and what it is.